It's Saturday. I've got books to ship. 8 orders. Not great, volume wise, but some nice wee orders in amongst it. My name's Ian. I sell books on eBay. Let's have a look at what's going out, shall we? This will be a wee short one today because we've not got much going, but like I say, some nice orders. So, first up we have 5 Lee Child hardcovers. I'm pretty sure I was just saying yesterday the hardcovers don't sell very often. And we got a bundle of 5 going out. So that order total was £16.70. So we've got like £6 postage to come off of that. A few pound in fees, so still just £1 a book. But that's what I do. Get these bundled and wrapped. Just put them in one big stack and then I'll wrap them in some cardboard afterwards. And I'll do that in the bubble wrap first. So yeah, another slow day of sales. Let's say I've got a couple in here that are reasonable value, not like anything crazy, but reasonable value. So the sales were bad, but not atrocious. Still well short of what I need to make in a day to actually earn a living from this. But I know that's going to remain the case whilst I keep increasing, you know, what I've got now. Continuing to list at least 100 items a day, and I'm selling on average 50, so that is increasing, you know, day in, day out, what I've got available to sell, which in turn increases the average sales I can make. You know, a couple of months ago I was averaging 30 a day. Now I'm at 50 a day. So it does improve. I just said I was going to wrap this in card and I've now tried to stick a bag over the top of it. So that was about that. So I'll come back and put the card on that after the fact. Next up we have A Lonely John Grisham, just the one book all by itself. It sold for £3.5 plus £3.35 in postage, so £6.70 in total. So when they sell like that, that makes me more than £1 per book. But it's unusual to get sales on individual books like that, because you can buy them new for not much more most of the time. So that's it's still a good deal. It's still cheaper than retail. It's in good condition, and it'll give somebody something to read. So the John Grisham book is going to NP19. So enjoy your Grisham NP19. Not got many Grishams left at the moment. Let me find some more. 370 grams. What did I say? NP19? Yes, I did. Well, yeah, a surprisingly slow week overall, considering it's near the start of the month. I really hope the whole back to school summer hangover is just about past, because I could do with the sales beginning to creep up now, make me some money. Next out we've got 3 Greg Hurwitz, so it's part of the Orphan X series. In fact I think that's them in order: Hellbent, then Into the Fire and Out of the Dark. Or Out of the Dark and then Into the Fire. I can't remember which way round they go, but they're good books. I've read these, really enjoyed them. Been cracking through the Orphan X series this year. So £10 and 5p the 3 of them went for. That'd be quite good. We'll bubble wrap them up. When I'm done here, I really need to remember to go and order some more packing bags. get some mailers in because I was running out. I'm going to have run out before the weekend's over if I'm not careful. Put a bit of tape on this. Oh, don't you love that noise? Snip. And the bag. So, like that one in there. Now where's Greg Hurwitt's going to? What did I say? NR2. It's bagged up. Put that on there. Get away 1,100. NR2 and the rest. So, Mr. NR2 or Mrs. NR2, enjoy your Greg Hurwitz books, because I certainly do. Right. Okay, we've got a nice wee value book going out here. So £10.54 for this one, and I do believe this is going international. So I don't know exactly where it's going. I could look, but I can't be bothered. But a 1974 copy of The House at Pooh Corner, really good condition, really nice. It looks like it's probably never been read. Be one of these that was bought for somebody and then just sat on a bookshelf until it went in a box and is now with me. So that was £6.50 plus postage and the eBay taxis and everything on that as well, which always confuses the price of it slightly. But we'll get it wrapped up regardless. And this one might go large letter. I say I'm not going to force it to go large letter because it's one that's to be kept in good condition. There's 0 point in letting this one get messed up when it goes out. So we'll keep it nicely. You know what, I'm going to put a bit of card around it and just accept that it's not going large letter, because I would much rather this got there in good condition. There you go, bit of card all the way around it, nothing fancy to do, and then a bit of tape to hold it in place. We wrap it, and we wrap it. Yeah, it's another of those books that I like selling all books, but when it's something that's a little bit special, and it's not a particularly rare book, there's a lot more James Patterson than there will be 1974 Pooh Corners. But it's still nice to know that they're going to another good home, and when they're bought this way, you kind of know they're going to somebody who's going to appreciate it. It's, you know, a collector more than likely is picking that up, and they're going to enjoy it. So 200 grams, and it's, well, obviously it's WS13 because it's going international. So we send that off to eBay, and eBay send it to where it is going. Right, next we've got another bundle of hardcovers. So 3 Clive Cusslers, £15.90 for those 3. So that's including the 3 odd pound in postage. There'll be another heavy load, so it's a £6 to send them. And a few quid, because no doubt they went promoted. Did they? Yes. So it's a better than usual average per book sale, but still nothing spectacular. And we'll get this taped up and into a bag. So definitely yesterday's orders were higher average cost per book, sale price per book. So that's quite good. Oh, the tape's just gone a bit funny. What's going on there? It's kind of stretched and snapped. Never seen that before. Oh well, it's done now. And taped up. One bubbled bundle into a bag. Now, someone noticed that international order going out. Right, I put it's same day postage for everything that I do, as long as it's in before 11 AM. So that's kind of my cut off for getting to the post office. Or making sure I get to the post office and everything goes out in a reasonable time. And that works, so, you know, a couple of orders in this morning, and it tells me they're not due to go until Monday. A couple of orders yesterday afternoon, they're not due to go until Monday, except for that international one. The international one always says post now, and then invariably it's something that comes in later in the day, so it doesn't get posted before midnight. It was out the next day as per my business rules, but I always get a mark from eBay for saying late dispatch. What's that all about? Whether I'm sending it to eBay for them to send abroad or somewhere else, the business rules still apply. So why do eBay do that? I don't know. It's really annoying, because why would I, you know, do a second run all the way to the post office on a given day just because it's going to eBay instead of someone else? It's just stupid. But that annoys me slightly. But there's very few international orders go out, so it doesn't have any great bearing on anything. It's just a bit frustrating. Right, next up we've got a wee DVD, Christine. So John Carpenter's Christine, obviously the Stephen King book it'd be based on. That went for £4.50 plus postage. So there are a few DVDs out there that are worth a couple of quid. I picked them up in the same place, so I'll have paid 10p for that. And got £4.50. Sold in promoted listings, obviously. I've run out of padded envelopes, so I have to take two of my little ones and turn them into one big padded envelope, which is fairly easy to do. I've had this box of tiny ones for years because I got them for something else, and once it was done I still had like 100 left over. So we cut down the sides of both. One goes inside the other. Pop your DVD in to get a size, so you know exactly how big you want to make it. Right, and see how there's an overhang there. All you do is take that overhang back, fold up the excess, and it kind of jigsaws together into one envelope. See? And then we just seal up the two flaps and put a bit of tape down that seam, and everything is hunky-dory. Do double check the stickiness of these, because I've had these envelopes for so long. I want to make sure that they stick nicely. That goes on there. There we go, tape up both sides. That one will go as a large letter, which weighs 135 grams. And Christine is going to S72. I don't sell as many DVDs as I do books, but I'm always picking more and more up, so more and more will be available to sale. We've only two more to pack up just now. Next we have Spare by Prince Harold. One of the wee shops I go into kept this by for me, and they're really excited that they kept it for me.
and to be honest, I would never have picked it up if they hadn't said, oh, here, we kept this one for you. But I took it anyway. First edition, which considering how new a book it is, that's no great surprise. But it sold for £8.95 plus postage. So, nice. Again, a nice high single sale value. Well, not high, but by my usual book standards, high. Average book sales go out for like £1.87. Those are all the discount things I have. So getting £9. Pretty sweet. We'll get Harry wrapped up. Nice and tidy in his bubbles. And it is going out to Charles in Buckinghamshire. Oh, that's interesting. Obviously it's not. Where are we going? OX39, Oxfordshire. NSF. Yeah, that's a good sale, that one. I like that. Anyway, into a bag it goes. Something else I was going to say there and I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, promoted listings. Right. I get two different promoted listings setups that I use. I've got kind of half my listings in one and half in the other, because that kind of lets me, you know, do a bit of testing one against the other to see what works best. So I've had my promoted listings rate pretty high. It's on the dynamic, so eBay choose what they think's best, and then I tell them to put it like 1.5% above that to get everything in front of as many people as possible. But since I've done that, sales, they've not gone up, they've dropped. Now that could be just coincidence, time of year, you know, they might have dropped even further if I hadn't put them up, but it doesn't seem right. It feels like no matter what you have that at, it doesn't seem to make a huge difference to your sales. The only thing it affects is your bottom line, because you're paying out more on everything. So I've taken one of my promoted listing sets and I've capped it down at 6%, which is about a third of what I usually pay. And I did that yesterday, and you know what? It hasn't affected the sales at all yet. Early days. I've had equal number of sales from that as I have had from the other one, which is still at its full rate, but I'm paying an awful lot less in fees. So, you know, it's an extra 10% plus on every sale that I'm getting by having done that, which, you know, this is quite a substantial difference. So keep an eye on it for a couple of days, see if it makes, you know, over a few days, if it makes any great difference, if I begin to see the two moving apart. And then that one that I've put really low, I'll start working it up until it hits a kind of optimum level. So, you know, every week, every few days, I'll put it up by a point and see if the sales go up. And if they do, after a few days, I'll put it up another point until they don't go up anymore, and I'll find that kind of optimum level. And then bring the other one down. Whilst I'm moving that one up, if the sales continue to be good, I'll move the other one down a point at a time as well, and they'll meet in the middle somewhere, and hopefully I'll be able to make a wee bit more money. Anyway, the last thing going out today is going to KT10. They paid £4.99 plus postage, and it's the Emperor of, was it All Maladies? Yes, the Emperor of All Maladies, a biography of cancer. Picked this up a couple of weeks ago. Thought it looked really interesting, never heard of it. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize for Non-Fiction 2011, and that is sold, let us say, for £4.99 plus postage. So another reasonable value sale, book-wise. Let's say if I could do books at a £5 plus postage all day, I would. But again, I'm kind of surprised it sold for what it did, because I mean, I've not looked, but I'm quite sure you can get it for the cover price. Oh, £12.99 cover price, so that'd be fair enough. But somebody's got themselves a nice little book, and it does look quite interesting. If I didn't have such a full shelf of things I wanted to read, I may have just held on to it and added it to my own. But I'm going to keep my eyes open and see if I can pick up another copy or few. Let's say it did look. I think I'd like to read that. Let's see what it's all about. Anyway, we'll get that into a bag and wrap it all up. We'll seal it all up and we'll get the weight, which is 475 grams and key T10. So yeah, not much getting packed and going out today. Leave me bubble wrap, but still it's kind of the end of what's been a pretty slow week. Not, I mean, one really crippling day in there when I changed I tried the advanced dynamic advert thingamajigs again. But all of that lot there was about £105, £106 total order value. So really meh, not a lot going. I did have one of the big dog grooming books that had been returned, so I'd sold it for £45. It didn't suit their coursework, so they'd returned it. So because it had now cost me like an extra £7 in postage, instead of it being a 25p book that I'd picked up, it's now nearly an £8 book that I'd picked up. So I stuck an extra tenner on the price and it sold for £55 plus the postage. So it's heading back out, but it came after I'd done the stuff yesterday before it was all due to go. So that's another nice wee one on its way out. So far this month, right, let's have a wee look at this. So total sales this month have been, so this is on the 9th of September, so it's up to up to 10:30 on the 9th of September. £1,349.91, which is down 0.5% from last month, which I'd expect it to be up at this point because it's September and not August anymore. Selling costs out of that, so that's my listing fees, my postage that I pay for through eBay, etc., £732.44, which leaves me with net sales, so what I've made in 9 days, £617.47, which is nearly 15% down on the same point last month. Out of that, obviously I've got my cost of goods. Now I don't sit and add up, right, that number of books sold for, it's 25p a book, blah blah blah, although I could do. I just look at what I've actually spent on restock since, which has been about £150. So that's me down to £480 for 8 days. It's not very good. Way short of what I need it to be. Within that, that £1,300, so mostly what we sell is books, but I do have other bits and pieces that I clear down and sell. We've had £1,082 of books, we've had £42 of CDs, another £33 on like the educational books that we sell, 30 quid in DVDs, £22 in old books, collectible books, and the rest has all just been a kind of mishmash of like bits of clothing that I've got that I'm still moving, wee bits of jewellery, etc. That's all shifting out there. So 3% up in my book sales. Well, actually a wee bit more than 3%, nearly 4% up on my book sales. So that's okay. That's what I would expect to see. But it's not resulting in any greater total sales. See, the last 2 days have been well below where they were at this point last month, which has really kicked me right in the teeth. So my total sales are 0.5% down.
which is just frustrating. I want to see an increase month on month, and that hasn't happened. But I've had a good mix of stuff going out. I've had the usual stuff, but I've had a lot of the different single books. But it does get me back feeling like there's some sort of invisible cap on what the platform lets you do. I don't know if that's based on selling history, based on the number of items you've got listed, the total value of the items you've got listed, or what it is, but it really feels like there's a cap. You know, be having a really good day, and then it gets to the point of the day where normally you get the sales the evening. That's where I get most of my sales. You know, people are home from work, having a browse, and that's where I get the majority of it. But if I've had a really good day up to kind of 5, 6 o'clock, it stops. I don't get the sales after that point. It always caps out at around about, you know, on a typical day, it doesn't go above the £200 mark in total sales, which is just so annoying. When it's been really, really good up to that point, and then, like I say, it just goes dead. If I've had a pretty crummy day up to that point, then I get my wee flourish in the evening, so it gets back up to roughly that right level. If there is some sort of cap on there, then I'm never going to be able to get up to where I need to be to actually, you know, make enough money to pay the rent out of this, which will be an awful shame. But maybe it's just coincidence. I've only got, you know, a couple of thousand listings, a few thousand books in stock, about £22,000 worth of stock it all works out as, which isn't bad considering I started with like 80 quid to do the whole thing. But it feels like there's something going on in the background that limits what goes where, and I wish I could work out what it was, because then I could use that to my advantage rather than it being to my disadvantage. Because wherever there's an algorithm, if there is something at play, then there's a way to use that in your favour. It could be that if there's a limit on the number of sales that it allows you to make, then I should get rid of every single low value item I've got and only have stuff that's worth a wee bit more, so that it doesn't waste sales energy on those low value items, and I would still get the same number of sales. But I don't know if that's the case, so I'm not going to mess with that as it goes. I'll just keep listing more and more stuff and see what happens. Anyway, that was what was going through my head today. It's Saturday, so I won't be doing one of these tomorrow. Tomorrow or Monday I'll be going to do my big pickup, so hopefully there'll be lots of weird and wonderful things found there. I find a couple of good things every week. Some weeks I find some amazing stuff. Hopefully that's going to be this week, because I really need to make some money in the next couple of days. Otherwise, the landlord will not be happy. Anywho, that's me for now. Hope you've enjoyed this. Maybe you've learnt something. Probably not. See you again on Monday, no doubt. But for now, love you. Bye.